Hello YouTube and welcome to the Rick and Mandy channel. I'm Rick and today we are talking about my favourite band, KISS. And in particular this album, KISS Unplugged, which was released 30 years ago on the 12th of March 1996. Probably released in the wake of the hysteria that was the reunion of Paul, Gene, Ace and Peter. So in 94 and 95, KISS were doing KISS conventions, where they would mainly travel around America with lots of memorabilia and obviously KISS costumes that had been worn in the 70s. And then they would get up on stage, do a bit of a Q&A session and also a acoustic set. At the New York convention, former drummer Peter Criss was in attendance. He had taken his daughter, who obviously didn't know much about his time in KISS, along with him, and so he could introduce her to the band. They subsequently asked him to come up on stage, and he sang "Hard Luck Woman." Afterwards, he said that he got in contact with Ace to tell them how much he enjoyed it and how good it felt to be back on stage with Gene and Paul again. Eventually, of course, Gene Simmons would probably see dollar signs, and he decided to invite Ace along so that they could perform on the KISS MTV Unplugged show. The show was recorded on the 9th of August 1995, and I think it was a surprise for the fans to have Ace and Peter there, because obviously it'd been about 13 years since they'd been on stage together, and I think possibly longer actually, obviously, with because Peter left in 79-80. So they got on, and it was obviously mass hysteria when they came on stage and performed a few songs with the band. So this was such a huge reaction that they decided to get their heads together, and they would then obviously go on to the worldwide KISS reunion tour, where they would obviously get back the makeup, put on the old suits, whole pyrotechnic show and everything, to show, you know, the old fans what they'd been missing, and obviously new fans what they'd never seen before. I mean, even for me, sadly, I didn't get to go, but if as I could, I would have, you know, never seen KISS, because I was born in 82, when they'd already, you know, Peter had already left and Ace was on his way out. The MTV Unplugged show was released obviously on vinyl, on CD, and also on VHS. The VHS actually had a sort of a small documentary about obviously the KISS conventions and the rehearsals at SIR Studios, with Peter, Ace, and of course at the time Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer. Here in the UK, the album reached number 7 on the rock and metal charts, which isn't too bad for a KISS album. Because of the wake of the reunion tour that obviously this led to, there were lots of other sort of CDs and VHSs released to coincide with the band's tour. Obviously there was a couple of compilation albums as well. There was also a video called The Second Coming of KISS, which showed how they, you know, got back together, obviously showing also part of the Unplugged sessions. So on the album, we just have here, just having a quick look at the list, you've got a few definite deep cuts is probably what you'd say. Coming Home, Plastercaster and Going Blind are really, you know, been very rarely played. Do You Love Me and Domino, of course. I know Do You Love Me might be a bit of a rare one. Sure Know Something, A World Without Heroes, that's a very deep cut, that's from the music from the Elder album. Rock Bottom, See You Tonight, which is a strange one because that's actually on Gene Simmons' that's on his solo album from '78. And then you got Still Love You, Every Time I Look at You, 2000 Man, which was played when Ace came onto the stage, He wanted to do Shock Me, but apparently he couldn't quite play the lead as well on an acoustic guitar. And of course we've got Beth, which was actually played probably the first time it was played, as they say, live, because when they used to do it in the 70s, it was just a tape recording, and Peter would just sing along to it. Apparently, Paul Stanley actually did know the arrangement for it, so they played that. They all got back on stage together for Nothing to Lose, and of course, Rock and Roll All Night. So there we have the 30th anniversary of KISS MTV Unplugged. Let me know in the comments if you've got any of these formats for the album, and obviously what your favourite track on it is. Don't know. Probably say I Still Love You. I think that's one of my favourite Paul Stanley tracks. I Still Love You on that one. There we go, 30 years of MTV Unplugged, and we shall see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.